In the morning of February 28, 2010, around 8:45 a.m., Mr. Yu was trying out his new camcorder in the eastern outskirts of Xi'an City, Midwest China. He captured a massive UFO. But because his camera battery wasn't fully charged, he only managed to record a 15 seconds footage. Nevertheless, the UFO is clearly visible, shaped like an inverted cone made of two pyramids. It appeared much larger than the distant skyscrapers. Most importantly, there was a smaller object of the same shape spinning around the bigger UFO. According to Mr. Yu, the UFO group remained in the sky for less than a minute, before shooting straight up into the clouds and vanishing. As the pyramid-type UFO was nothing like the traditional saucer-shaped UFO, lots of people immediately thought the video was a fake when it was first shown. However, if someone were trying to fake a video, they would likely choose the familiar saucer shape that people expect. The fact that it is pyramid-shaped actually makes the video appear more credible. A few months after the Xi'an sighting, there was another UFO sighting in Shaoshan, Hangzhou, southeast China, which is now considered highly credible in recent Chinese history. On the evening of July 7, 2010, at approximately 8:40 p.m., the flight crews of two commercial airplanes preparing to land at Shaoshan International Airport, Hangzhou, spotted an unknown, moving and glowing object simultaneously in the southeast direction of the airport. They quickly reported this to the air traffic control tower. In the interest of safety, the air traffic control acted immediately by closing the airport and halting all flights. 12 outbound flights were suspended, and 6 incoming flights were rerouted to nearby airports in Ningbo and Wuxi. This happened between 8:45 p.m. and 9:41 p.m. on July 7th, impacting a total of 18 flights. Local law enforcement, the Air Traffic Control Authority, and the airport quickly launched an investigation. The next day, extensive media coverage began. NGOs like the Beijing UFO Research Center and the Shanghai UFO Research Center also came to investigate.
7月7号呢，杭州萧山机场
国际机场
突然出现了疑似不明飞行物体，导致机场封锁1个小时。有关方面已经介入，但是还没有找到它的下落。
Zhejiang Economic Television interviewed Miaoxiang Luo, duty manager of Shaoshan Airport, on July 7th. Right from the beginning, he dismissed the common expert explanation that it was a balloon.
我们空中管制部门的这个通报，机场上空发现了这种怀疑有不明飞行物。那么我们为了保证航班的这个安全嘛，我们的机场就是其他的正常航班备降到周边机场去。检查的气球飘来飘去是有的，但是不会影响的面积这么大，因为那个是看得到的。
像这种是第一次吗？
这个是第一次。
On July 8th, a reporter from the evening news spent a good 3 hours to reach the Shaoshan Airport Media Center over the phone, due to the high-level interest in the incident. The Airport Media Center director, Zhou Chengruan, explained that during the 1-hour airport lockdown, authorities attempted to track the object, but the radar system couldn't detect it. When asked about the UFO's shape and identity, Director Ruan said that he had no information. At the start of the investigation, the Shaoshan Airport Public Security Bureau stated that the UFO appeared as a glowing object, and many passengers and nearby residents saw it.
萧山机场公安分局表示，初步可以确定不明飞行物是一个发光体，不少附近的居民和飞机上的旅客都曾看到过。
这个一个亮点，有居民说看到有亮点，那这个亮点到底是个正常的航班，还是一个其他什么东西，没办法判别。
However, something strange happened shortly after the incident. All the news reports and early online posts that had generated considerable discussion were taken down one by one. You cannot even find the posts from July 7th on popular search engine Baidu. The only remaining picture related to the event is one taken by Mr. Ma, a Shaoshan resident, showing a long, glowing object on the night. The enhanced version of the image is now widely circulated. It is quite puzzling, because there were thousands of witnesses to this incident, and by 2010, smartphones were becoming common, making it easy to take photos. However, all these pieces of evidence vanished shortly after, except for the miraculously surviving photo taken by Mr. Ma. Mr. Ma was a beginner photographer. The photo was taken at 8:26 p.m. on July 7, 2010, in Xinjia, a town about 9 kilometers southwest of Shaoshan Airport. On that evening, Mr. Ma and his wife brought their newly purchased Canon 500D camera to a nearby pavilion to try taking pictures of the night scenery. As they approached the pavilion, they suddenly spotted a bright light in the sky. Initially, the luminous object appeared small, but it rapidly approached and grew larger. Interestingly, they heard no sound. Mr. Ma has mild short-sightedness and doesn't normally wear glasses. As soon as he noticed the luminous object, he grabbed his camera and took a photo. At that time, the camera was set with the following parameters: 18mm focal length, f/3.5 lens aperture, 2.59 seconds shutter speed, and 2.5 seconds exposure time. The official investigation into Mr. Ma's photo quickly concluded, relying on data and analysis by a scholar from the Shanghai UFO Research Center called Tao Bai. Using the focal length, Bai calculated that the photo's diagonal angle of view was 74°20, and the distance between the camera lens and the flight object was about 1,700 meters. The official conclusion indicated that the red line in the photo was, in fact, the red navigation light on the left wing of a typical aeroplane. According to international regulations, all civil aircrafts are required to have 3 different navigation lights: red, green and white, positioned at the wingtips and the top of the tail for nighttime identification. The official explanation stated that the white dots on the red line in the photo were the high-brightness white anti-collision lights on the left wing. Similar lights were also on the right wing, which explains the faint white dots beneath white highlights in this image. The brightest white highlight line was created by the landing light installed under the aircraft's nose. The official report might appear detailed, but essentially, it aimed to clarify that the photo depicted a regular airplane landing near the airport, captured using a long exposure mode. To be more precise, it was an Airbus passenger plane during a left-turn approach landing. This official conclusion was based on the flashing pattern of the white anti-collision lights on the wings. Boeing planes have a single flash, while Airbus planes have a double flash, meaning they flash twice, pause for 1 second, and then flash twice again. The 5 white flashing dots on the red line match the 2.5 second exposure time. The longer streak of red light on the right side of the photo was because the plane was turning towards the camera, indicating a left turn. So, is that the whole story? The sensational UFO sighting that caused an hour-long airport standstill turned out to be a landing Airbus plane? Later, Professor Zheji Wang, a planetary astronomer and UFO researcher at the Purple Mountain Observatory of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, raised some questions about the official conclusions. Professor Wang was a prominent figure in Chinese UFO research and stood out among astronomers for his unusual interest in UFOs. While his primary focus was planetary studies, he developed a deep fascination with UFOs and dedicates nearly 40 years to investigating these seemingly bizarre UFO sighting cases. Professor Wang openly expressed his belief in the existence of extraterrestrial life, stating that,
"In the scientific community, most people believe in the existence of aliens. The main debate isn't whether aliens exist, but when they will make contact with us."
Despite being 73 years old at the time, he was determined to conduct an on-site investigation in Hangzhou City, where the Shaoshan Airport UFO incident occurred. In Professor Wang's essay issued in the same year as the UFO incident, he raised a question. If it was indeed an aeroplane, why didn't Mr. Ma hear any noise when he took the photo? Mr. Ma lived near the airport and had witnessed planes taking off and landing many times. The sound of an airplane landing is quite loud, and he shouldn't have missed it. What's more, the initial media reports stated that the airport radar couldn't detect the object, and it was only visible to the human eye. The director of the airport's media center, Zhou Chengruan, expressed the same doubt in an interview. Why couldn't the radar detect a regular commercial aircraft? With so many planes arriving and departing every day, what was so special about this one that it led to an 1-hour airport lockdown? Some suggested that it might not have been a commercial airliner but a private plane that appeared unexpectedly. Even if it was a private plane, it would still have disrupted air traffic. However, there was no information about where it landed or any consequences for this incident. This lack of clarity didn't seem logical. It gave the impression that the priority was to dismiss UFO suspicions rather than addressing potential disruptions to air traffic. With this analysis, it seems clear why Mr. Ma's photo gained attention, because it supported the official investigation's conclusion. When only 10% of something is genuine, while the remainder is fake, People often doubt the authenticity of the real part. Director Wan from Shaan Airport Media Center hinted in an interview that certain details couldn't be shared, and the actual investigation results would remain undisclosed. It appeared they wanted the incident to fade away over time.
他们都没出面那个接受采访，我也是去了后场就被他们挡在门外了。说记者，你听我讲啊，因为现在这个事情呢，不知道他们调查结果到底怎么样，那我们也不排除有些东西可能也不便讲。据说是在上海虹桥机场啊，在上海也发生过因为有些结果没法公布，这最后也是冷处理的。
Director Wan referenced the UFO incident at Shanghai Hongqiao Airport in the interview, which occurred on March 18, 1991. That incident shared many similarities with the one at Shaan Airport. At around 6 p.m. on March 18, 1991, Flight 3603 from Shanghai Hongqiao Airport to Jinan had an encounter with a UFO shortly after takeoff. Just like the Shaan Airport incident, it happened near the airport, and radar couldn't detect it, only visible by human eyes. Because technology wasn't advanced enough back then, the crew couldn't take any photos or videos. There weren't many witnesses, so it didn't lead to an airport lockdown or get much attention from the public. Fast forward to June 2008, during an academic conference on major UFO events in Shanghai, a recording of the communication between the pilot of Flight 3603 and the control tower was revealed. This is the only known audio recording of a pilot's UFO sighting in China.
前方有一个它在不在很平的飞机，有2米2到3米那个样子，火球这个进去上北飞，向北飞了对吧？哎，对的。对，它高度大概有多少？高度可能要在3000以上。3003，你看它那移动速度快不快啊？移动速度相当快。是一团火球。有16火球啊，现在隐隐约约能够看到，大约长度有个5、6米那个样，拉了一溜往前跑得挺快。你先转过来好了，转到90度好像灯快出好了。接近那个物体啊，刚才是红的像火球一样，现在又变成黑色的了，好像一个什么东西在拉烟那个劲儿似的，跟一条大鱼似的在那里。3003，你看会不会太阳反光？不是的，绝对是个东西在飞，绝对是个飞行物是吗？现在判断不清什么东西，反正是在移动。接近3003，刚才看到那个东西，现在还能够看到它2个分离了。下边一个，上面一个，大约它2个的高差有200-300米那个样。2个黑色的物体，不知道什么东西。它2个现在分开了2个黑色的是吧？对的，有一个分成2个，上边是个圆的，下边还是个长的。今天它那样对你飞行有没有影响？没有影响，现在逐渐在我视线当中消失了。
In 2017, 7 years after the Shaan Airport UFO incident, a video started circulating online, sparking renewed interest. This video originally came from a YouTube channel called Secure Team 10, which has over 2 million subscribers. The channel specializes in sharing UFO sighting videos from around the world. These videos are often submitted by viewers, and the channel's host, Tyler, receives many submissions every minute. He chooses to share the videos that seem authentic on his channel. However, through some investigation, we found that the video that became popular and was thought to be linked to the Shaan Airport UFO incident was actually shot in Paris. Tyler received it from someone named Josh on April 30th, 2017. Josh mentioned that it might have been filmed in Paris, but the exact date was uncertain, maybe around 28 or April 29th. He didn't provide any more details. Tyler tried to ask Josh for more information, but Josh didn't respond. Tyler may have thought that the content in the video was too unbelievable, so he decided to still release the video. In this video, there was a large cigar-shaped craft that seemed to be scanning something with a huge beam of light, and a small light spot in the upper right corner slowly circled around the big light spot. After watching the video, many people thought it resembled what they had seen near Shaan Airport. This is why this video is mistakenly considered as the Shaan Airport UFO incident video. It is worth noting how the small light spot in the video moves around the larger one. It's quite similar to the movement of a pyramid-shaped UFO seen in Xi'an on February 28, 2010. In fact, these pyramid-shaped UFO sightings were reported in different parts of the world around that time. For example, there were videos taken from different angles showing a massive pyramid-shaped UFO over Moscow on December 10, 2009. Also in December 2009, a pyramid-shaped flying object appeared in the skies over the UK.
A weird looking thing. Looks like a lot of stingray type thing.
Another sighting happened on March 11, 2010 in Colombia, with a smaller object flying by a bigger one.
Cables de la luz encima de algunos edificios. Según William Chávez, el ovni aterrizó en suelo terrestre cerca del humedal Córdoba.
This video was taken on September 9, 2011, above the Luannan power plant in Hebei province, northern China. The vision is clear. These remarkable coincidences couldn't simply be attributed to a collective subconsciousness of Photoshop experts around the world, all simultaneously creating UFO videos using CGI simulations and posting them online. If these videos aren't fake, is it possible that these flying objects belong to the same UFO formation? Many unknown UFO witnesses share their experiences online. They are not famous and don't have much reason to lie. Creating a fake CGI video for little attention doesn't make sense. So, these stories often have valuable information behind them. To wrap up, I would like to share a quote from a witness to the Shaoshan Airport UFO incident. This witness worked near Shaoshan and saw a strange, long object in the daylight around 6 p.m. It is hard to describe its exact shape, but it was unlike typical UFOs. Many people were observing it. The object moved slowly and made no noise. The witness believed it came from Jianggan district northwest to Shaoshan. Later arrived Shaoshan. Over the years, he faced skepticism and ridicule for sharing his experience, and many still doubt the existence of extraterrestrial life. However, he advised not to worry about others' opinions or arguments. Instead, follow your curiosity, do thorough research, and listen to your inner voice. Your subconscious holds the answer. Alright, that's all for the story of today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next story.